In this short 20-minute video, you're going to learn several of my best tips and strategies to sell more on eBay and make more money on the platform, okay? And that's going to help you increase your store's notoriety, do things like block problem buyers, and a number of other things. You can check out a full list of the timestamps for the specific lectures on what you're actually going to be learning in this video and at what points in the video those lectures start. If you want to check them out, like I said, the timestamps are in the description. On top of that, if you want to get a cheat sheet full of, I think it's over 100 now. I completely updated my site list cheat sheet. So it's about 100 of my favorite websites to source from where I find profitable products. You can get that for free down in the description at any point in time. You can also check out the full case study, which will cover 6 of my favorite ways and methods to resell products back online for a profit. You can resell them back on eBay or sites like Poshmark, Mercari, and Amazon. Obviously, it's going to be depending on which specific business model, on where I recommend that you obviously sell them. So if you want to check the free case study out, that's always linked in the description as well. On top of that, before we actually jump into the eBay tips, there's only 4 slots left to enroll in Online Arbitrage Pro. I recently started limiting the actual enrollments per month, so I'm only letting 20 people in now per month because it's a lot to manage. The Facebook group's growing exponentially and I can only take on so many students because it is just me. So there's only 4 slots left currently at the time of recording this to enroll in Online Arbitrage Pro this month. So if you're interested, hop on that now because they will go quickly. So with that being said, let's jump into the eBay tips. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments section down below. I would love to answer them for you. Number 1 now is to list your prices a lot higher initially than you even expect to sell them for. Now, why do you want to do this? You want to list them high so that you can build up that sense of more value in the listing and collect potential people on the watch list for those items and those favorites that you see on the eBay side of being a seller, right? So that way in the future, you can drop your price down for that listing 5% and those people will get an email notification that, hey, the price on this listing that you favorited or, put on your watch list has dropped 5%, and that will initially, hopefully, prompt immediate sales. It's creating that sense of urgency and that sense of value. Both are very important to selling products online. Tip number 2 is to actually do product research ahead of time before you go out and source items for eBay to list, right? So for example, if let's say you want to go out and you want to source a coupon product, for coupon arbitrage for the eBay platform, and you want to see if, what the sales velocity and sales history for an item like that is on eBay, and also what you could potentially sell it for, so you know if it's going to bring you a profit margin and it's a good product to source, right? So then what do you do exactly? Well, you want to copy the title for that Amazon listing, take it over at eBay search, right? And then you want to sort on the side of eBay, and you want to sort for sold and completed listings. And what that's going to do is it's going to show you if a product like that has ever sold in the past, and if so, for what, how many, and on what dates, right? So if they've sold frequently, if they sold recently, what the prices were, and if, for example, if your search is too niche, then you just want to take out some of the keywords, search some of the main keywords, so it's not like a long title only if you're not seeing any search results or very, very minimal. And then you want to search for, maybe like the top 5 keywords in that listing. So if it's a scratch off map, you want to do like world scratch off map, blah, blah, blah. Maybe just take like 5 to 6 keywords in the title instead of the long full title, right? And that's only if you're running into issues seeing potential listings in the sold and completed items. Then the same thing, right? You're going to search for that broader, sold and completed, see if any items like that have sold. If they have, and they've sold, recently and for decent profit margins, then obviously you want to go ahead and potentially source that. You basically want to do your product research ahead of time so you know going in full well, A, this is a good potential item to sell in the eBay marketplace, or B, this isn't. And if it is a good item, you want to know what the potential profit margin that you can make is, what you can potentially sell it for, and obviously what other similar items like that have sold for. Now, when you go, another little caveat and bonus tip, when you go to list that item, you don't want to just go create your own listing. You want to go back, search for it again, go to sold and complete items, and hit one of the items that have sold with a good profit margin that's very, very similar, and hit sell one like this. What that's going to do is it's not only going to take, the category and a potential title that you can then manipulate and change slightly, but it's also going to take the specs that helped it get sales or helped it get a sale and helped it get more visibility on the eBay platform, right? You want to take the specs, and that's the easiest way to do it. Tip number 3 is that you want to go out and you want to get the fast and free badge on all of your listings, okay? So what is the fast and free badge first and foremost? Well, it's that little fast and free thing up in the top of the listing that kind of looks like the Amazon Prime badge for eBay buyers, right? So what is it then? How do you get the fast and free badge? Well, what you basically want to do is you want to offer free shipping, hence the free part of the fast and free, and you want to have handling times that are at least 1 day or same day. That will be the fast and the free part of it. And what that will do is then you'll get the fast and free badge on your listing, and eBay claims that that increases sales at least 11% across the board. I'm not saying this is what they're saying that their data shows. So one of the best tips that I could give you is make sure your handling time is at least 1 day or same day delivery, or not same day delivery, same day handling times, right? So that means that you're taking at least only 1 day to handle the item and ship it out. Also offer free shipping, and then your sales should increase across the board by at least 11%. Now, tip number 4 is gonna go directly against tip number 1, but hear me out. So tip number 4 is to sell items for no profit or practically any profit at all. And before you get all up in arms, hear me out. What you want to do is you want to sell items very, very cheap when you're initially ranking your eBay account. And that might mean 0 to no profit on some items, or even, your first couple items at least. The reason being is you want to accumulate positive feedback. Now, positive feedback when you're selling items, right? You're gonna prompt the sales to accumulate positive feedback by listing your items a lot lower, even though initially I told you to list them a lot higher. You got to feel out for where you are in the process, right? If you're ranking a new account, this is the route you want to go. So list your items very, very low to prompt sales to accumulate positive feedback so that you can get that snowball effect to start rolling, because as you accumulate more positive feedback, you will then be able to sell more products at a higher price in the future. So it's an exponential effect, so you might have to take the hit or at least sell them for no net profit in the beginning on like your first 5 to 10 items, just to accumulate some positive sales history so that people, when they come to your listing in the future and you have some positive feedback, that they don't think twice about it because you're a trusted seller now and you have some, history of positive sales. Tip number 5 is to invest in quality shipping supplies. Now, this is one of the things that I fought for so long because it can go against your profit margin, right? If you have to go out and buy shipping supplies like boxes or envelopes, for example, that can go against your margin because then that's another expense on your business, right? If you're going out and sourcing for something I'm gonna tell you here in a second, priority mail when you're shipping, right? That's gonna cost you more to ship it out because if you're paying priority mail, then obviously your shipping prices are gonna be more than if you were shipping like media mail or ground shipping, right? So keep that in mind. It can be an expense on the business and you don't have to do it right away. But one of the best tips is to invest in quality shipping supplies, okay? So that means that you're not shipping out repurposed Amazon Prime boxes to your house, which is something I did initially. In the future, it's not the worst thing in the world if that's, what you want to do in the beginning to kind of, keep your margins as high as potentially possible. That said, it's definitely not going to make you look that professional as a seller, right? So what I would say is instead go out to Amazon and buy, some really, really cheap boxes, or go to type in really cheap boxes in bulk on Google, right? And you should be able to find good prices for boxes that fit the majority of your items. Or you can even go to Amazon and buy 100 envelopes for super cheap, $5 to $10, and use them to ship out, right? Then you just need to tape the envelope shut, and then you have an entire thing that you can just slide into the post office, and it doesn't cost you much at all, but it makes you look more professional, like you actually prepared for this and you didn't just repurpose an Amazon box. Another example of this that I see from new eBay sellers a lot is a shoe box, right? Because we all have shoe boxes, extra shoe boxes laying around the house. Don't do that if you want to look professional and you want to be taken seriously as a seller on eBay. If you take your business seriously, your customers will as well. But if you're not prepared and you're not taking it seriously, well, chances are they won't take you seriously either, and then it could hurt your feedback ratings going forward. So make sure that you're investing in quality shipping supplies, and it will pay off for you. On top of that, if you don't want to essentially pay for shipping supplies, you don't want to go out and pay for boxes, you don't want to go out and pay for envelopes essentially, what you can do is I'm going to give you 2 other options. You can go to, grocery stores or stores like Best Buy and ask them if they have extra boxes, or even Target or Walmart. Ask them if they have extra boxes that they want to get rid of. A lot of those stores will crush them up into that little pallet cruncher or whatever it is. I don't even remember what it's called. I used to work at Target. And then they recycle a lot of the boxes. So they have droves troves of empty boxes that they're not using in all shapes and sizes, and you can utilize them to your advantage if you just have the balls to go to a store and ask if they have some extra shipping boxes. You can get free shipping supplies like that. Another way to do it is to go to USPS.com and you can get free shipping boxes, to your door for free. And they come in all different shapes and sizes. You can get padded flat rate envelopes, shipping box, all sorts of shapes and sizes right to your door for free that you can then utilize to your advantage. Another great tip too is to just go to like a store, like a Walgreens, or like a what's another store like Walgreens, like CVS essentially, and just buy wrapping paper, like a shipping wrapping paper that's like beige or tan, right? It costs you like $3 a roll, or even sometimes $1 or $2 a roll if you buy it on bulk on Amazon. And then you can wrap your products in just like that. Just tape the wrap up like you're wrapping a present. Ship it out like that. It will be really, really cheap, and it will make you look a lot more professional than if you just repurposed an Amazon box or send it in a freaking shoebox. So take your business seriously, invest in some quality shipping supplies, and it will pay off for you. It'll make you look more professional. It will definitely result in a lot of better positive customer feedback, which we've talked about previously, the importance of. And basically what you're doing is you're over-delivering on their shipping expectations by doing this. Another way to over-deliver too is like we talked about when you're going to USPS and you're using the priority mail boxes, then you can ship out with those for free. Although just keep in mind that while you're getting those boxes for free, you do have to pay the priority mail shipping, which can be a little bit more than ground. So just keep that in mind when you're factoring that in to your potential profit margin. The best way to go out and do it is just trial and error. You'll learn by doing it, but highly recommend that you invest in quality shipping supplies. You can go on eBay and check sold and completed on the left side. So if we go to eBay and we literally type in VS Advantage, let's go back and find, so VS Advantage clean shoes, and we're going to type in Adidas. I'm literally going to type it into the search bar, Adidas VS Advantage clean shoes, and see what pops up. Now I'm not interested in what these are, right? I want to literally go down and I want to hit sold and completed on the left. So sold and completed, it's going to click both of them, and it's going to filter through them. Now what I want to do, and I'm not going to specifically go through and analyze it right here with you because it's pretty self-explanatory. You want to do that so you see exactly what's sold and what completed listings have actually been pushed on the platform recently, right? You want to look at the recency of those listings, because if a lot of them sold, but they sold 2 years ago, probably not that relevant, right? So you want to look at the sold and completed listings for that shoe. If that shoe isn't actually on there, right, then you just want to look at Adidas branded shoes that are very, very similar. Or if it's like a cashback product, you want to look at very, very similar items to give you an idea of the demand of that potential item on that marketplace, okay? Then you also want to look at, let's say you find out that this is a good product, both, price-wise and, potential profit margin-wise, right? I guess they're the same thing, but I have a lot of ideas in my mind I'm trying to relay to you. So then you want to go back and unclick the sold and completed and research it, because now you already know that through sold and completed it's a good opportunity, but you also want to make sure that there's not a lot of competition still currently on the eBay platform, right? Because if a lot of them have sold for 60, but now the market is flooded and there's like 100 other sellers all listing that same item and they're all listing at $30, then your opportunity and profit margin on eBay specifically is no longer retail at 60, then it's probably closer to 30 because there's a lot of other sellers setting the market on eBay at $30, okay? So a lot of moving parts there. Rewind it and slow it down and watch it again if you need to understand that. But that is literally how you do product research on eBay. That's how I do it. That's how all the top eBayers do it. There's no other better way than basically doing that. Look at the sold and completed, see if it's good opportunity, and then look at the current market on there and the other competition that is also selling that and what prices they're at, okay? So really briefly, I want to talk about how to actually list on eBay. I know it sounds simple, but I see a lot of people kind of making this mistake, or not really mistake, but kind of overlooking this advantage that they could give their items when listing, okay? So let's say you bought these Adidas sneakers on a bulk deal site, or really wherever, it doesn't matter, and you wanted to list these on eBay for sale, right? What a lot of people will do is they'll go to their seller, like their eBay dashboard, and hit sell, whether it's right here in the front or you're actually in the dashboard and you want to hit sell, okay? Now, can you do that? Yes, but then you have to put in all the specs yourself. So what I recommend that you do is you see first, if you copy this title, right, and you take it into the eBay search,
you want to actually see if what the market is for this, right? So we've already talked about product research, but you also want to take the specs of any other Adidas pair of these that have sold, right? You want the winning specs, for lack of a better word, that are gonna sell it for you, right? So what you want to do then is, now that we've searched for it, you want to go to the left and you want to scroll all the way down and you want to go to sold and completed items, right? And that's going to show you which ones have sold. So these literally sold today. These literally sold, or excuse me, yesterday. These literally sold yesterday as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to take these right here and I'm going to go into them and I'm going to hit sell one like it, right? Have one to sell, sell it. Boom. And that's how you can steal the specs of this, because you know that whatever specs were inputted in here, those were the winning formula, right? Those were what gave it them the visibility on the platform. You want those specs for your listing, so you have two options. You can either input any specs that you might see yourself, or you can simply, search for it and then literally hit sell one like it when you actually search for the listing, okay? It's really that simple. Now, if for whatever reason, let's say you went back and you didn't see this exact shoe, well, then you'd want to probably look for one that's very, very similar to it. Now, if you don't actually have the same exact item, don't hit sell one like that, because then you'll steal specs that aren't that actual item, right? And that's not a good thing either. But you want to go as specific as possible and then kind of go broaden out from there if you can't find that actual item, okay? But that's just a little hack that's going to help you get more visibility on the platform, and that's how I recommend that you go list most of your items if you can. Today I want to talk about how you can block a buyer on eBay so that you can, obviously avoid them in the future if they're a problem buyer. Now, I just recently faced this. So see here, I don't have any negative feedback, but I did actually. This person tried to extort me. They bought my product and they tried to say that the product was defective, which typically I have no problem with. I just usually refund buyers both on Amazon, eBay, and really anywhere because it's never worth the potential bad feedback or the bad review or whatever. So I just always give them their money back. But this person wanted to, they were really difficult about it. They wanted to specifically keep the item and get the money back. And basically what they were trying to do, it was so blatant, is they were trying to extort me. And when I basically just kept telling them to return the product, why don't you just return the product through eBay? I don't want to do anything off the platform. I'm not going to Venmo you. I'm not going to PayPal you. They basically use that as, an extortion tactic to give me bad feedback. They wanted me to send them money and then they wanted to keep the item. It was wild, actually. I've never seen anything like it. So how I got that removed is first and foremost, if you ever get bad feedback that is like that, call eBay seller support. They will 99.9% of the times, in my opinion, if it's warranted, they'll remove it. So I didn't know that I could actually do that. I found that out myself by calling and talking to them. So that's another little tip. But you can actually put that buyer, if you identify who they are, on a block list so that they can no longer engage with you, message you, or buy any of your products. You don't have to deal with them in the future. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, how you can block a buyer or ban a buyer on eBay to really protect your account in the future. So if you go to Google and you just say, how to block a buyer, this is the easiest way to get there, in my opinion, a buyer on eBay, right? And then this first thing that's going to pop up is blocking buyers on eBay. And you are simply going to click this block bidders or buyers from your listings page, and it's going to take you right here. Now, typically I would usually, blur this person's name or eBay account out, but this is the most blatant fraud, extortion tactic I've ever seen in my entire life. So I'm not going to blur them out because I really don't care. To each their own. But this is the person I just had to block. This is how you do it in the future. If hypothetically you identified that, DJ K Sell, who actually was a great buyer, was a terrible one and you didn't want to engage with them or give them the ability to buy a product from you in the future, then what you could basically do is just copy their account name and paste it into the eBay blocked buyer list. Boom, submit it, and they can no longer engage with you on eBay. They can no longer buy any of your products, and therefore they are no longer a hassle.
So there you go, guys. That's a free eBay mini course that's going to teach you a lot of the best tips, to sell more on eBay. Like I said in that last lecture specifically, block problem buyers so you don't have to deal with them, and you can increase your feedback so you can sell more and have more social proof, on top of a number of other things and techniques to sell more and make more money on the platform. Now, if you have any questions whatsoever, do not hesitate to reach out and ask. You can just drop a comment down below and I'd love to answer it for you. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.